no need for that. You could take either way.
Jaylen Brown is on a terrible contract. I would definitely look for him. But
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the debate room. I know you guys haven't seen my face. I'm not even gonna go into like the long spiel, but I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been locked in on like other stuff, but I'm glad to be back. Obviously, well, Latif and Max, y'all can introduce yourselves.
introduce ourselves.
Yeah,
This is
bro.
our pod.
The episode, bro. Like,
It's been a little
What up,
bit.
man? What up,
It's
man?
been
I'm feeling
a little
good. Me and Max feeling good. OKC won. He the fan of the team. I'm a huge supporter of the team over the last 2 seasons. Obviously, love Shea, Chet, Kaysen. Those my guys. So hey, I'm elated. I just won $100, season long bet. I've been betting on the team forever. When Chet came last year, I said he was going to win Rookie of the Year. Um, I've been locked in with this team for a minute, so it is amazing to see them take their next step in their journey, make it to the Western Conference Finals. Shea had an amazing um, game. He was pretty great this series in totality. So I'm elated right now. The Thunder have another test up next with the Wolves. That's a formidable team. I still got to get my mind wrapped around that series. But hey, I'm feeling great, man. Y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, follow us on our social media platforms. We about to get into it.
anywho, yeah. Anyways, Thunder beat the Denver Nuggets. It really wasn't close. Obviously, Aaron Gordon was. I don't want to say he was out because he was doing well with rebounding and other stuff like that. But once the news broke that he could possibly miss a game and he was like suiting up and like all the other stuff, I knew it was over. And it was in the Thunder's backyard. So I mean, Max, let's start with you, man. This is your team, so just tell us how you feel.
Yeah, Latif, yes, Latif has definitely been supporting this team. Latif also said the game was over at 21-10. So I don't really know what to believe right now.
Bro. Like,
It's fine. It doesn't matter. This game, I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that went wrong originally, and they kind of fixed it as the game went on. Like, I don't love the shooting the three, living and dying by the three. I think sometimes even when we're cold, we still get as many shots up as we can. I think we shot around 30%, but the defense was just everything today. Their entry pass into Jokic, having Caruso case in there a couple times, Dort just swarmed the ball. Like overwhelmed Jokic, didn't give him time to think, didn't give him time to breathe, and no one else was really making plays. MPJ, this is like maybe the worst 7-game stretch of basketball I've seen him play. Obviously, he was injured, dealing with that shoulder injury. He was terrible tonight again. And again, he is their spot up shooter. He's so important to their team, and he couldn't get the ball to go through. Aaron Gordon being injured was big. Christian Brown, he played pretty well to start the game. He had some good threes. He was giving up good minutes, but it doesn't really help much when Jamal Murray can't also be giving up good minutes. And I think he had 2 points or 4 points going into the second half. He scored a little bit in the third, but it was by that point in time we were up by 30. So like they just couldn't play as a cohesive team. That Denver team has had streaks of looking very out of sort and out of sync. I think since Mike Malone's been gone, Adelman did a fine job, but like I think that's just you need more time to develop with the coach. But Jokic tried to give it his all. Will his team to a victory. My big takeaway was I was happy that we were taking Jokic out of the playmaking as much as possible. I think he had 3 assists at halftime or like midway through the third. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted Jokic to beat us by scoring the basketball. I wanted to take away something of his game, whether it was his playmaking or whatever. You take it away as much as you can. And I think by us swarming the ball every time he got that entry pass in the high post, we were able to take away passing lanes and kind of cloud his vision. I think it's funny to see 6'3" Alex Caruso going up against Jokic every single play down the court. But the pressure and kind of the active hands that we have can really help get in the passing lanes. We ended up shooting the ball when we needed to. That was a great game. Again, being up by 30, kind of going to the Western Conference Finals with some confidence, with some sort of swagger. Hopefully, I don't think it'll be. Again, I underestimated Denver a little bit for sure. I won't do the same with Minnesota, but hopefully stick out a good series.
Jaden said that once he saw that Aaron Gordon went out, he knew the game was over. Aaron Gordon was nowhere near 100% in his game. He probably was around like 30 or 40%. I think what he did was a valiant effort. It was one of the most courageous and inspiring things in basketball as of late, playing on a grade 2 hamstring just to give your team a chance, very, very honorable. But his injury is not why they lost this game. It's just not. Every single player outside of Christian Braun and Aaron Gordon on the Nuggets played terrible. Jokic had 9 shots in the elimination game. 9 shots. You're the best player in the world.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Do you see how they were, bro? They were playing him on the catch. They were fronting the post. When they had somebody fronting him, they had somebody behind him. They were helping off the shooter. They were helping off of shooters. Aaron Gordon couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything with a dunker. He couldn't be connected. He couldn't be.
You cannot in those circumstances have 9 shots in an elimination game. He obviously had more free throws. How many free throws he had? He had, let's see, Jokic. He had 11 free throws. So that matters for sure. But they guard him well for sure. This was not a good game for him for his standards at all. And OKC did a great job of guarding him, but he was nowhere near good enough to win a game 7, regardless of Aaron Gordon's injury. Jamal Murray, absolutely terrible in this game. He shot 6 for 16, 1 for 8 from 3, and had 2 turnovers. Not good enough. Michael Porter Jr., awful. Wasn't good the whole entire series. Peyton Watson, awful. Russell Westbrook, awful. Everybody besides Christian Braun was awful. Maybe Jokic wasn't awful in totality, but for his standards, it was an unimpactful game, I think. So yeah, that's why they lost. They lost because Kaysen came in the game and Kaysen and Caruso flipped this game in the second quarter. They caused havoc. Caruso, who is literally one of the best defenders in NBA history on the perimeter, one of the best guard defenders in NBA history. That's not an over-exaggeration. His ability to not only guard in the perimeter, but make plays and help, make plays at the point of attack, and guard Nikola Jokic effectively. How many players in NBA history can we say that about? It's not many at all. That's why they won this game. They won this game because they got out of transition. They won this game because they got in the paint at will whenever they wanted to. That's why they won this game. They won this game because Shea was amazing tonight. They won this game because J-Dub got out in transition and got himself going. And he was able to knock down some shots. That's why they won this game.
Bro.
It's not Aaron Gordon injury. It played a factor for sure. It lessened the margin of error that the Nuggets had. But a 40-point loss, it's not because of one player. Like leaning on that, not saying you are, but some people are doing that. Not saying you leaning on that for a reason why they lost. But some people are using that for a reason why the Nuggets lost, and that's just not the case. 40 points, Aaron Gordon at 100% is not changing that.
It was a huge domino effect. That's what I believe that it was.
I don't think so. Game 7 at home.
I think if anything, it should have been a motivator for that team. Seeing Aaron Gordon out there.
That's what I said. I thought him going out there first. I didn't think he would have played as much as he did. I didn't think that he would contribute as much as he did. What do you have, like 11, 12 rebounds, something crazy like that?
I don't know. I mean, he started the game off with a bucket or something.
Oh, and that too. But I thought he just would have went out there for like 5 minutes. It just would have been like a morale booster. Like, you know what, bro? He's risking his health. Like he's risking. I don't want to say career, but on a hamstring, grade 2, like that's just saying like you're rider. You're like you have like a ride or die mentality for this team. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that's what it was, and that would have just motivated his teammates to play harder. But looking at this roster, like especially how this stuff went down, obviously we're going to talk about like what they need to do like going forward and like how they're going to retool. But there's a lot of problems, and Aaron Gordon, I think he was kind of masking some of those problems, like with everybody else, just because of his intensity, his defense, and yeah, him being hurt just was a domino effect, and it proved how bad. I don't want to say how bad this team is, but it proved it showed a lot of weaknesses that this team has. So I think it definitely was a domino effect.
Wait, can you run it by me again? Domino effect is what?
I'm not saying everything else again, bro.
You gotta say everything again. Why was it a domino effect though?
Bro, he couldn't provide any offense. Jamal Murray was ass, and so they helped. They helped off of Jamal. They helped off of Christian Braun, who shot 2 for 9 from the 3. They helped off of Russ because Russ is a non-factor offensively.
Where are you doing this? Where are you doing this all series? Yes or no?
With Braun?
Helping on Braun? Yes, all series. They were in gaps. They were helping off the Nuggets role players all series. Jamal Murray, I don't think he struggled today because of Aaron
Okay, so
Gordon.
they were doing it all series, but they made it to Game 7 because of who? Jokic. And who?
They made it to Game 7 because Julian Strawther had 15 points last game.
And what was Aaron Gordon doing the whole? What was Aaron Gordon doing the whole series?
Last game. Christian Braun had 20 points last game. What did Aaron Gordon do in the last game? Let me see. Let's go look. Aaron Gordon had 5 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal. He shot 2 for 7 from the floor and 1 for 4 from 3.
What did he do before last game?
He had a good series. Aaron Gordon has been amazing in the playoffs. He's been the Nuggets' second best player for sure. But him being injured has nothing to do with Jamal Murray struggling. It has nothing to do with Michael Porter Jr. struggling, who has struggled basically all series outside of a few games. Russell Westbrook was bad because Russell Westbrook is not a good player. That's why he was bad. They didn't lose this game because of Jamal Murray. They lost like 40, bro. It ain't no domino effect. It's just not. Like, would he have helped Bridge? He would have helped make the
He would have helped tremendously. It would have been I would say it would be probably, I would still give it to OKC, but it would have been a way closer game.
Yes, they would have won by 20.
It could have low-key been a nail biter game. Like, low-key.
Sure, it could have, but I think all those things that happens are independent of Aaron Gordon, in my opinion. I think the Nuggets were wore out after a long series. They just had one versus the Clippers. The Thunder were at home in the Game 7. They came out. They came out playing really well. They were up 21-10. They started turning the ball over a lot. That's the reason they started losing. They started turning the ball over a lot. Jokic went out. He went out on the bench. What happened? 13-0 run. That's not because Aaron Gordon.
Bro, but it's just like a lot of stuff that you lose when you don't have Aaron Gordon. Like, play outside of Jokic for playmaking, they don't have much. Like, Aaron Gordon is second, third best playmaker on that roster. Very good connected playmaker. Jamal Murray can't do that. Jamal Murray was struggling. I don't listen. No, he was struggling. He was definitely struggling. Like, Aaron Gordon has a lot of impact on the games, and I feel like you're not like acknowleding that, bro. Like,
I just said Aaron Gordon was his second best player in his playoffs. What are you talking about right now?
All right.
He was clearly the second best player in the playoffs. They don't make it this far without him. He had a game winner in the
OKC series and the Clippers series.
Yeah, and he had a game winner in this series. He had a game tying 3. I think the game 3 when they went to overtime. He's been amazing. He's been great defensively. He's been great offensively. He's been shooting really well from 3. He was their second best player. Clearly, yes, your second best player getting hurt changes the series, but 40 points to the extent of 40 points, I just can't get there. And I think a lot of the things that happened were independent of Aaron Gordon's injury, as far as the turnovers, as far as how well OKC played on defense. Like Caruso playing that well against Jokic, guarding him, it's not because of Aaron Gordon. That's because Mark Daigneault made a adjustment. He took Chet out the game. He took Isaiah Hartenstein out the game and went small. When they were able to go small, they got in passing lanes. They got out in transition. They hit more shots. That's an adjustment by Mark Daigneault. He went smaller. Maybe you can say he was able to go smaller because they weren't able to take advantage of Aaron Gordon's. Because Aaron Gordon can take advantage of mismatches when he's healthy. Mm-hmm. That's a fair point. But I don't even know if he was on a court when they were, at all times when they were doing that or whatever. So yeah, that's my opinion on the series. All in all, I think the Nuggets, I don't think the Nuggets can really hold their head down too much though. Like, I think if you're the Nuggets at this moment right now, you are disappointed because you lost Game 7 for sure. But considering all the things that happened up until this point, you fired your coach 5 games before the playoffs, and now you know that David Adelman is a great head coach. He's probably the head coach of your future for sure. You know that. Christian Braun took steps. Aaron Gordon has took steps. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time to waste because it's Jokic's prime or whatever. But you definitely, I think, exceeded expectations in this playoffs. I thought the Thunder were going to dominate them, and they took them to 7 games. They beat the Clippers as well, who I didn't think they were going to beat. So you have work to do this offseason to maximize Jokic's prime or whatever. but you definitely overachieved this offseason because nobody thought you were going to make it this far, in my opinion. A lot of people had the Nuggets winning. I mean, a lot of people had the Clippers. A lot of people had the Clippers winning round one. So it's two-sided. Like, of course, you guys underachieved, I guess, but relative to expectations, I don't know because I thought they're going to lose in the first round. So I don't know. We can talk about that next, though. What's next for the Thunder?
Clippers. All right, Denver.
Yeah. What's next for Denver? I ain't gonna lie. They need some shooting, like you said, Latif.
You need a consistent number 2 option. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, like, again, Jamal Murray has shown he can be that at times, but how many years removed are we from that run? 2 years now, right? They won in 23. 22 or 23? 23. Like, Jamal Murray is just shown to be way too inconsistent at times, and I honestly just don't think the depth they have on this roster is good enough right now. Like, I think it would have been a Jokic backpack all-time kind of stretch for this team to make it past OKC, then to make it past Minnesota, and then to go beat someone in the East. Like, I honestly think that Jokic, again, is playing his best basketball currently. Like, he's the best player in the world, and they don't have pieces to support him. Like, you can't have 4 of your top 5 players past Jokic be underperforming when it comes time for a game 7. So I don't know. I think, like, shooting's necessary, perimeter defense necessary. You definitely need a bench. You need a bench big. Like, DeAndre Jordan is your big off the bench. Like, I don't know. You got Deron Holmes who's injured.
Deron Holmes from injury. I love Deron Holmes. He's gonna be really good.
He's never played an NBA minute. I understand, right? You can like the potential, but he's never played in the NBA. So you're putting a lot of
huh? That's what you said about Chet.
That's what I'm agreed. And again, we're not going to act like someone who has never played in the NBA. Every time they make it there, they're going to be exactly how they were. People flop all the time. And I like Deron Holmes, but to have that as your one piece going forward, we're confident, and that's our only backup big. I don't know if that's sustainable, but I think that overall, like, you lost Bruce Brown, you lost KCP, and you're still hurting from it a year and 2 years later.
I think they need another guard, bro. Like Russ, I love what you did in your career, man. But sit over, bro. Like it's
I think I told you that a while ago.
Nah, but like I think it's very apparent now because he had something in the tank, just like his tenacity, playmaking. He was okay. He could push the pace, but now I just don't even think he's good enough for that. Honestly,
bro. Yep. Russell Westbrook has not got worse over the last 3 seasons.
I just don't. No. His touch around the rim has gotten worse. His athleticism has gotten worse. He can't create space. He can't create any advantages. Every time he has the ball, he's literally just running into coverage. He like doesn't blow by any defenders. Like I said, his athleticism has dropped by so much. Like, is it crazy? I don't even want to say he's an average athlete because it don't even look average.
No, he's definitely he's still. I think he's probably still.
He's not above average. He's not above average athlete.
I think so.
Yeah, Russ is still like a top athlete in the NBA.
No.
Yeah, I don't know about him being a below average athlete. That's kind of crazy.
I don't know how you can be a top athlete in the NBA and
he was in the
any low guys like not.
He was in like the 99th percentile of athleticism in the NBA until like the Lakers years, and then he's still like above 90%. Like he's still.
I just don't see it.
Above 90%. Let's be for real.
Probably like 80 something. 80 is regardless, how much of this was true in 2022, 2023? All of it.
No.
That's just a lot.
His touch around the rim has progressively gotten worse. Like every year,
you want me to go look at his rim numbers over the last 3 seasons? And
yes,
and I can do that. That's not hard to do. Russell Westbrook.
And he still can't shoot. Like you would think that he would like try to develop a jumper. He still can't shoot.
That's been the thing. He never could shoot, like ever.
Okay, but when your athleticism dwindles, like when your game is like predicated off athleticism, you're not that same athlete. You need to learn how to shoot.
Russell Westbrook only looked better this year because he's playing next to Jokic, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I've been told you that he was awful without Jokic on the floor.
That's not crazy. That's not crazy to say that. Jokic, I think, makes everyone else around him significantly better. Like, I think Jokic obviously is easier to play with alongside than anyone on LA last year.
Jokic, I mean, Russ has finished 68% at the rim this year. In 2023-2024, it was 65.5. So it went up by 3% this year. And that's because, again, Jokic is spoon feeding them looks at the rim. So I don't really know about you can't really, unless you're talking on self-created stuff, but he hasn't been good on self-created stuff ever. Well, not ever. I'm sorry. That's crazy. But I'm talking about like recently.
In a modern NBA offense, he doesn't fit at all.
And when he was on the Lakers and Clippers the last two seasons, it was at 63% at the rim. But his touch has gotten worse, but that's been like that for a while though. I don't think it's gotten worse since he got traded from the Lakers. Russ is a fine backup point guard in all seriousness. Like he's fine. He's a fine backup point guard. Can he play in the playoffs? No, because he can't shoot. And his decision making is terrible. So yeah, I mean, what's next for the?
So how is he a good backup point guard?
I say he's a fine backup point guard. He's fine.
That's saying he's a good backup point guard. Like, what are you talking about?
That's not saying he's good backup point guard. I say he's a fine backup point guard. Ty Jerome is also a good backup point guard. What happened to him? He shit his pants in the playoffs. Like, how much are you going to be relying for a backup point guard to really play well in the playoff series? Like, that's more so like a regular season thing. You cut your rotation even smaller in the playoffs. So like your backup point guard shouldn't be getting that many minutes anyways. It's not that big of a deal to me. I think Russ should be coming back for the Nuggets. I think in totality this year he was probably a positive. But he cannot play with Jokic on the floor at all. He can't play on the playoff series.
So why would you bring him back if he can't play with Jokic? If he can't
regular season wins, he's saying regular season wins.
Bro, what else?
What's the point? What's the point? What's the point?
He's in a small contract. He's in a small contract, and he has 1 more year left on his deal. What's the point of?
Sure, I don't know if Russ is going to accept the role of not playing in the playoffs. So,
like, if at that point, bro, just like find somebody who could like be better than him, and I don't think that's that hard. It's not that hard.
They don't have money.
The Nuggets, yeah, they don't. The Nuggets right now are strapped for assets. They have terrible flexibility. They have dug themselves a really bad hole with this current team. Right now, they need point of attack defense. They need a backup center. They need more shooting. They need more wing defense as well. The problem is they don't have the assets, really, I think, to do all of that in one offseason. Their best bet is going to be to try to move Michael Porter Jr.
I mean, it's going to be tough. I'd say you can move both.
Yeah,
move Murray and MPJ. I'm fine with that.
I think their best bet is going to be trying. You have to move Michael Porter Jr. You may have to attach some assets to do it because his contract he's at $38 million a year.
Realistically though, who wants MPJ and what does that trade even look like in your opinion? Who's trading for MPJ? Chicago?
What's the last one?
It'd have to be Brooklyn before they trade for Kuminga or Utah. If you go with Utah, you're only gonna want back like
Laurie,
Colin Sexton, maybe there's somebody else.
Yeah. Anyway,
I feel like Sexton would be decent on the Nuggets.
No, he would be a very good addition to the team.
I don't know. I think to give up though the shooting of MPJ for Sexton, I don't think is the need.
Hey yo, that Casey dude is crazy. I want to match the set, but I know it's not going to go over how I think it's going to go over.
Wait, when is Colin Sexton contract?
Is he talking about Casey from Marion?
Yeah. Colin Sexton only has 1 more year on his deal. He's making $90 million. He was talking about Jeremiah Fears. He's been doing his thing for Jeremiah Fears for a while now. So, yeah, I don't know. The Nuggets are in a tough situation. As far as their cap situation, as far as the assets that they have, I'm not a GM. That's not my job to figure out how to fix a team.
Well, that's why they fired the GM. That's why they fired the GM who did that. Yeah. They fired the GM and put him in his position.
I mean, Calvin Booth drafted Ian Strother, but I mean, Zeke Naji contract terrible.
Like I'm saying, I think that the negatives easily outweigh the positives currently. You got a ring, great, but that wasn't even off your dime. Now you have to figure out how to move Jamal Murray or MPJ, the Zeke Naji contract, sure. The lack of assets, the lack of everything in an offseason or two to make sure Jokic is good.
Yeah, because they are right now completely wasting Jokic's prime. He is the best player in the world, and they don't have a team that's nearly good enough to win a championship around him. I think a lot of that run had to do with creation. Like he created so many open shots for the team because teams were not scared of them shooting at all. Also, I think the Nuggets defense took them very far this year because they were able to just like ignore other people's. Like they just ignored the Thunder role players. They ignored Chris Dunn. They ignored Derrick Jones Jr. So whatever. But yeah, next team up is going to be Boston, the reigning defending NBA championship champions. Max, what's next for Boston?
What's next is to clean salary cap for sure. The two big names that they should get off the books are Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday. I think that's the basic consensus for a lot of people around the league. I think a lot of people see them as assets who are going to get moved this offseason. I think going forward, you obviously Jason Tatum won't be there. You will be in a position to lose and maybe try and get a pick low to the first round or as low as you can. I still think though you want to keep Jaylen Brown and Derek White. So again, I think that team is depending on what other kind of moves they make and what you get for Porzingis and Derek White. I think it could be bad, but I don't think it's top 10 overall pick bad if they actually get decent pieces back from Porzingis and Derek White. I think a team of Jaylen Brown, Derek White, the bench they have, if they get something back from obviously Porzingis and that, I think it's a competent enough team to be a lower seed in the Eastern Conference or a potential lottery team. I don't think you really need to focus so much on blowing the team up to get a super, super low pick. I think that it's a high risk, high reward. But I don't think you need to like trade Jaylen Brown and Derek White to try and ensure that you get as low a pick as possible. I think you can try and get a mid-round, first-round pick, draft well like Boston normally does or has done in the past. And I think that you can kind of add to that with Tatum, with Jaylen Brown, with Derek White, and whoever you get in a pretty deep draft next year. I think that the overreactions to trade Jaylen Brown, I get his contract is massive. I don't think that's necessary right now. I think you can push a competent season through, still get a decent asset, and keep on moving into the next year when Jason Tatum gets healthy again.
Jay and Q, you guys got any words?
Yeah, I do. Well, no, I kind of explained the last time I talked about it, but yeah, they have to. They just gotta. I think punt on the season next year. Obviously, move off of KP and Drew. See whatever you can get back. Get below the apron. Get bad next year, based on how these pick odds is working. You might end yourself with a top 5 pick, and with a Boozer, DP, AJ, something like that, and then usher into a new, like that second era, that second part of the Boston Celtics tenure. That's like the obvious move. I wouldn't want to go into next year trying to compete for real.
Yeah, I think the Celtics have to tank next season. Their goals this offseason should be to get off of Kristaps Porzingis, get off of Drew Holiday, and try to get a top pick in next year's draft because they own their pick. It makes no sense to let Jaylen Brown run the first option thing and then you guys win like 45, 50 games in the East and then lose in the first, second round. It just makes no sense to do that with their current cap situation and the assets that they have going forward. So they need to just be bad. It's pretty simple. I mean, I feel like if you trade Drew Holiday and you trade Kristaps Porzingis, based on what you get back, you can let Jaylen Brown, I think, had a torn meniscus almost or something like that. You can have Jaylen Brown get surgery and it won't be like crazy to the NBA. Like they won't like hit you for tanking or any penalties or something like that.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Well, we have to see the extent of Jaylen Brown's injury or whatever. Yeah. But
yeah, I mean, if that alley opens up,
I would definitely just punt the season. I'm not gonna lie. Like it makes no sense to try to be competitive They still have a very talented roster, so it may be hard to like get to the bottom of the league. But even like a lottery pick, just it helps teams so much. You can make a very like impactful pick in the lottery to help your team as soon as next year. So they're pretty good at drafting. They're pretty good at asset management. I trust Brad Stevens to get it done, but yeah, next year Celtics got to be bad. It's really that simple. It's tough because Jason Tatum is approaching 30 almost. He'll be like 29 next year, I think.
Really?
I don't think so.
The year when he comes back, I think he's 29.
Jason Tatum's 27. He's 27 right now. When's his birthday? March 3rd.
He's born in March. He'll be 28.
Next time we play basketball, he'll be 28.
Jason Tatum's still young.
Yeah, next time we play basketball, he's still 28.
That's still pushing 30.
Sure, but everybody's pushing 30 technically.
So, yeah, I mean, you got to hope that Jason Tatum comes back from this injury and is still a top 5 level player. You got to hope Jaylen Brown can get healthy and return to his 2023, 2024 self and make moves on the margins. You got to get out Drew. You got to get out KP because Drew has regressed. KP can't stay healthy, and he's kind of regressed too. I think the only untouchables, to me, the only untouchables on the Celtics are Tatum and Derek White. That's the only untouchables. If you can get someone to believe, if you can get someone to give you assets for Jaylen Brown, you definitely do it. You definitely do it. That contract is terrible. Jaylen Brown is a good player. The contract, he's heavily overpaid for what he can produce on the basketball court. If you can get off that deal and it makes sense for the Celtics, you definitely do it. I think the only untouchable people are Tatum and what is his name? Tatum and Derek White. Maybe you trade Derek White because Derek White is 31, but I think his game is going to age pretty well going forward. But yeah, I don't know. Especially if you can get KD, but I don't know. I don't know because KD by the end. I think they can probably get KD for Drew and KP low key.
But would that not mean you're trying to contend?
Next year,
yeah, exactly. You don't have Jason Tatum use with it.
Yeah, it don't even make sense to do that. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Next team up, Warriors. They shocked everybody. Made it to second round this year. The Jimmy Butler trade was pretty successful. He got injured in the playoffs, so and obviously Steph got injured in the playoffs, so they made an early exit. I think they would have had a good chance against the Timberwolves. Honestly, what's next for the Warriors? Stephen Curry getting another year older. Jimmy Butler getting another year older. Draymond Green is getting also another year older. So Kuminga is up for an extension. He's been bad. I'm just keep it short. What's up next for the Warriors?
You got to get off of Kuminga, bro. You get something from, but you have to
sign the trade.
He don't even fit on this roster. Like,
trust me, he's gone.
No, he is.
I think it's just a long-awaited thing that they've been like trying not to do this whole time is trade. And again, Moses Moody has no value right now, but trade Moody and trade Kuminga. Like they've been trying to think about it for a long time. You got like one final push with Steph, and especially with Jimmy now, you got like one final run of like anything competent, and you got to get as much assets as possible. But again, you're so strapped with cash with Draymond, Jimmy, and Steph. You really can only make moves around the margins. There's not much to go around. So you can get like one player for Kuminga, but money-wise, unless you get people to take pay cuts, I don't know what kind of money they're working with. Brandon Podziemski's got to play better than this year. They had some weird bench pieces. Like I feel like I see Pat Spencer and Trace Jackson Davis highlights or little clips if they do something good, but like they're not going to be huge contributors, I think, for a championship level team right now. So they really need to work on filling out that bench and getting Curry as much help as possible. But like, again, there's kind of like Denver where they don't have assets to really move stuff around and make huge moves.
You're hoping that Brooklyn wants Kuminga, and then you could possibly sign and trade him because the Warriors don't got money, but they could sign Kuminga and then trade him and possibly bring back like a Cam Johnson in that deal.
And Cam money? Do they have money to get Cam Johnson?
He's on like I think it's probably like 25 or 28 like that. But since the Warriors can sign Kuminga, they can sign Kuminga even though they don't have money. They can just trading him to the Nets. That's only if the Nets want Kuminga.
Chicago's going to be some weird team that wants to facilitate some trade. I don't know. I just feel like they're going to be some team who wants some Porzingis or Kuminga or some salary dump. But
any facilitated team probably be really just Utah, maybe the Pels.
it just depends on what they do with Zion.
I'll trade him.
Yeah, but for what? And then what do you have in return? But
Couple seconds.
I think as far as the Warriors' future, they definitely got to see if they can sign and trade Kuminga to like the Nets or something like that to try to get some assets back for Kuminga. You don't want to just like lose him for nothing, especially when you could have moved him for like a Lauri Markkanen last year, which is it kind of hurts.
yeah,
What else do they need? I think they have a pick in this. They have a pick in this draft. Let's see where they at.
Did they trade the pick to Miami?
Oh, they don't have it. They don't have it. Never mind. Yeah, it's kind of bleak. I think you got to invest in Pod's development because he was pretty good to end this year. He struggled in the playoffs after Steph went down. You got to just hope Steph is healthy next year. I don't even know. I don't think there's not like a move they can do really to put them in championship contention. Like their future isn't like super. Well, it's kind of bleak, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's really a move they can do. They don't have that many assets anymore. They didn't trade that much for Jimmy Butler or whatever. But I don't think they have the avenue. Like, what's the move? Is it KD? I don't think so. Is it Bam?
Well, they already went all in. Technically, they can do one more move, like one more. But
I don't really know. The Warriors have reached their last stop in their dynasty. It's over. Like, there's nothing they can do to get to championship contention. They're going to have to hope for Stephen Curry at like 37, 38 next year to have an all-time great run and win them to the championship. It's just not realistic anymore. And Jimmy Butler is a good second option. Stephen Curry is still one of the best offensive players in the NBA. They just don't have the supporting pieces. The Warriors really mess their potential second dynasty up or whatever. Like they could have been the Spurs type of thing by drafting Kuminga, who is basically a bust. They drafted Moody, who is solid, but could have got something better at pick 8. They drafted James Wiseman, basically threw that draft pick up in the fire. So they've made so many mistakes in their drafting process.
They drafted Poole, but Draymond punched him.
Yeah, that's a good point. They had Jordan Poole, who was their best young player on the team by a mile, and Draymond Green punched him in the face. That's completely true, Q. So I think Bob Myers did a terrible job to end. Bob Myers did a terrible job to end his tenure and then just left him to die. Like that's
terrible.
What do you mean? He drafted James Wiseman.
You know what James Wiseman was out of college,
bro? I'm not gonna act like I was big in the scouting or nothing like that. And I
probably played like 5 games, bro. What?
Yeah, James Wiseman didn't have that much games played, bro. That was
but still in those games that he played in high school, he was just crazy. Like
he's like he Kyrie or something.
I mean, that kind of was the thought process.
I know there was a lot of people that like in like the NBA community that didn't think that was a good move. Like before it even happened, like they had James Wiseman like in like the lottery or something like that. But they went for fit instead of talent. But like,
and I was going to say they needed a center.
I don't think there was any argument for James Wiseman over LaMelo or Anto. And if they would have drafted either one of those players, they would be in a much better spot. Like clearly,
you think LaMelo would be LaMelo on the Warriors, bro?
Yeah.
It should have been Tyrese Halliburton.
It could have been LaMelo or Tyrese Halliburton or Tyrese Maxey. Anybody's better than James Wiseman. But like LaMelo could just run an offense. Steph can come off ball screens. LaMelo can play off the ball. You said what?
The Bane was in that draft too.
You would have probably. I mean, like Stephen Curry his load would have been lightened a lot over these next few years.
I think they would have been super interesting, like complementary pieces. Like both guys could have make for each other, and like I think Steph would have been able to play longer, like a little less pressure on him.
Yeah, I mean he still has great longevity, but his load would have went down by a lot. Their team would be a lot better offense, obviously. But I mean it's in hindsight, whatever. But they really botched like 3 straight draft picks. Like it's hard to do that. It's very hard to do that. They botched 3 straight draft picks. Moody is cool or whatever, but like they could have got somebody better. Obviously, their GMing was just awful. They traded Jordan Poole for Chris Paul. like.
I mean, you had to do something. I know.
Yeah, because bring my
You have to do that.
you definitely did not. All right. Next team up and the last team for the segment is going to be the Cavaliers. They lost in 5 games after dealing with multiple injuries to the Indiana Pacers. What's next for the Cavs? They won 64 games this regular season. It was one of the best regular seasons in franchise history. And then, unfortunately, they lost in the second round. What's next for Max for the Cavs?
Pretty easy, just run it back. This team has the luxury to say they can run it back because of the injuries that happen in the playoffs. You get another year of development from Garland and Evan Mobley. You love what you saw from Donovan Mitchell. The only thing you might do is make some moves around the edges, bench pieces. Latif, I know you kind of mentioned maybe trading Jared Allen, but Jared Allen's even younger than I thought. So I thought maybe move off him. He's 30. He's not even 30 yet. So you kind of got to – you don't have to, but you keep the team around again. With Boston going down especially, you try and run it back. I know you got killed by Indiana this year in every single game. I think they only beat them once. You just got to kind of – you have the luxury to run it back. Your team's young. You had a super successful regular season, and you try and figure out how to beat Indiana next year. But I don't think you really have to do much besides changing a little bit of bench help maybe, defense, shooting, whatever. But – just being more ready for the playoffs.
What you think they should do, Chief? Who's your boy?
I think the Cavs have to run it back one more year. I think they're going to be in the second apron or whatever, but it might be worth it considering Boston's going to be without Tatum. Maybe try to move Jared Allen, but the problem with moving Jared Allen is he's an excellent player, and you won't get equal assets for him. Like, you're going to lose that trade, like, most likely. He is one of the best centers and one of the most underrated players in the NBA. Excellent roller, excellent passer, good rebounder, good defender. So Jared Allen is an excellent center. So moving him is just not going to work. We have to prioritize Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley was great this year. He was great in the playoffs. He's a defensive. He's one of the best defenders in the world, top 3 at worst. And his offensive game is growing. He was able to put the ball on the floor a lot more this year. He was efficient in the playoffs. We did not feature him.
I guess so.
His offensive game?
Yes.
I think Evan Mobley still has a ways to go offensively, and I still think he has a lot of room for growth. I think he can really become a really good 3-point shooter for a big. I think he can become a really good ball handler for a big if we put the ball in his hands more. He still has the opportunity to put on weight as well. His mid-range game can improve as well. He just needs the ball more. Like, he needs to be more of a focus in his offense. I honestly think, like, come playoff time, we need less Donovan Mitchell. Like, Donovan Mitchell was great. Obviously, he willed us to multiple wins. And he was great when Darius Garland and Evan Mobley was out. But a lot of teams don't have matchups for Evan Mobley. They just don't. He's one of the best play finishers in the league. He's going to be one of the best, like, self-creators from a big man standpoint in the league at his peak. So I think you asked me how much. I think he could be 23 and 10 with elite defense. That's how I think Evan Mobley can be 23 and 10 with elite defense at his peak. That's who Evan Mobley's going to be. That's how much better he's going to get. And that's probably going to be a top 5 to 7 player in the NBA. I think Evan Mobley is probably much better than you think he is. Like, when we do these rankings after this season is over, I'm probably going to have him like somewhere in the top 15.
I'm crying.
Right now. Because he is, at worst, a top 3 defender in the world. He's one of the best play finishing big men in the NBA. And he added a 3-ball this year. And he added some self-creation.
Yo, is he better than Zion?
Yes.
Give him better than Ant, Brunson, Reese,
No.
Donovan Mitchell.
No.
Anthony Davis.
No.
LeBron or KD.
But you said Zion was top. You said Zion was top 13.
LeBron or KD.
It's close to Zion because Zion is a great offensive player. He's the better offensive player. LeBron or KD. Listen, I love those guys. I don't know yet. We got to see.
I love those guys. I love those guys. Come on, bro.
KD, I'm not gonna lie. Who's the more impactful player today? I don't know. KD's
KD over. If you saw KD and Mobley, Cavs won that series in 5.
Oh, oh stop. No, I don't know. I think KD is still an excellent scorer. Like he's still an excellent scorer, but outside of that, that's what else? Give me something else, please.
Shay's an excellent scorer. Outside of that, give me something else. Please.
He got a block. He got a block today. He got a block today. He got a block today.
He's a better scorer than KD, and he's also a better playmaker than KD.
No, he's not.
Wait, you said Mobley is a better scorer?
God, bro.
Hey, Shay.
KD can't even handle a double, bro. We got to be serious.
KD
can't put pressure on the rim to create for it. Does not create for others. He just doesn't. He's a fine defender, but
he does, bro.
Neither does Shay.
Yes. Are we watching basketball?
Oh my! He still can't fucking pass, bro. He can't.
You see how many open looks the Thunder got because they were literally just gapping Shea on every drive. All the attention was on Shea this whole entire series.
That's just what happens with this player.
And if we want to get super casual with it, I mean, how many assists he average?
Don't do that.
I mean, how many assists he average? I mean, come on now. KD not give you like 29 on 62 shooting. Against,
what are we doing?
He's not giving you that. He's not giving you that with that amount of defensive pressure on him. He's not, bro. I'm sorry.
Tifu funny.
He can't beat a double, bro.
He's so married to a take that you just you say
he can't beat a double. 30. He's at his big age. He can't beat a double, bro. Like you gotta be serious.
Are you?
He's never gonna be able to beat a double.
Bro,
let's see what Shea averaged 29.7, 6 and 6 on 63 true shooting in this series. Come on, bro. Like, can KD do that, bro?
Yes.
No, he cannot. He can't average 6 assists.
Do that before on the highest stages.
Bro, we talking about in 2025. Like, yeah, I mean,
I can't tell you that because they didn't make the playoffs. I can't tell you that. I can't say yes or no.
I still think KD's great, but Evan Mobley, bro.
I don't think you believe that.
No, I do. I think he's great. KD probably is still a top 15, 17 player. Do you think?
No.
He's not top 10. He's not top 10. I don't know why people trying to push that.
LeBron top 10?
LeBron is not top 10. No, I'm confident in saying that.
Is LeBron better than Zion?
Yes, bro.
No, respectfully.
Yes.
No, he's not, bro. We gotta stop, bro. You gotta stop.
Zion is not on the court enough, bro. That's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful, bro. He's not better than Zion, bro.
Will Zion ever be better than LeBron? I don't know.
Yes,
LeBron is a better defender than Zion, bro.
I think LeBron could be retired, and Zion might be better.
Zion had a really good defensive year this year, by the way.
I don't know.
All right, what's up next?
You don't know. What do you mean?
I don't know. Q is KD more impactful than Evan Mobley today?
Sure, I don't know.
All right. Timberwolves versus Thunder prediction. This is going to be a really good series, in my opinion. One of these players will be going to the finals. One of these teams will be going to the finals for the first time in a very long time. It's going to be Shea.
I wanted the Nuggets to win, bro. Like,
who wanted the Nuggets
I wanted to see Anthony Edwards get to the finals, man. But I just don't know. Like, the amount of guard defenders is crazy. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm very scared.
This series is I think it's not a toss-up, but I think OKC should be favored. But this is not going to be an easy series, like, whatsoever. I think the Timberwolves have some real advantages on the Thunder. They can out-rebound them. They can match their athleticism. They can.
And physicality.
They can match their physicality for sure. They can dominate in the paint. They can throw different coverages at Shea and J-Dub to make them struggle. They can play zone. They can play straight up. Scoring on Rudy at the rim is going to be incredibly hard. So they have some real advantages in this series. I'm not really too sure on who I'm picking. I know who I'm picking. I'm going to pick OKC in 7 games. I think it's probably going to be a 7-game series, 6 or 7 games. Ultimately, I think OKC wins the series because I think their defense is going to really just shut down the Timberwolves offense as it can do to basically anyone. But it's going to be a close series, in my opinion. But they have the bodies to match up with Anthony Edwards. I think they can do a good job on Julius Randle as well. They're going to be able to get out in transition. It's all going to come down to if the Thunder role players can knock down open threes. Because it's going to be interesting to see how the Wolves guard SGA. Are they going to let him go one-on-one, or are they going to like tilt the floor, play in the gaps, play zone, similar to what the Denver Nuggets did? I do think they're probably going to play a lot of zone. I think they're going to play. They're going to send a lot of pressure towards SGA. They're going to put a lot of attention on SGA. It's going to be up to the Thunder role players to really step up in this series. Do I think they can do it? I'm very shaky on that. After what I've seen in this playoffs, I'm very, very worried about can Chet step up? Can Jada step up against a much better defense in the Timberwolves? So I'm not really confident in this pick at all, but I'm going to go OKC in 7. Next, what are you thinking? Are y'all going back to the finals for the first time since 2012?
I got to have a little bit of confidence. I also am going to go with OKC in 7. But my X factor or my question mark for the series is Julius Randle. I think that depending on how he plays, he could put Minnesota through in 5 and really expose aspects of our defense. Or if he's not really gelling with the team, I think that we could take it easy as well. I think since the start of the year, the Julius Randle move has kind of been scrutinized. But over the last month, 2 months, it's obviously looked like it worked. You got 2 series done in 5. He's played a lot better. Julius Randle's been playing good basketball. So I'm super, super curious to see how we match up against – like Anthony Edwards obviously is a great player. Like no denying that, no question. But we'll throw Kaysen, you throw Dort, you throw Caruso out on him. I'm curious to see how we address Julius Randle, especially if he's hot, how we switch on doubles, how we try and break off – if we try and like stop him from even like getting the ball. I'm kind of confused, or I'll be curious to see how Dagnall can kind of change him as far as how he just works in the post. Does he throw Dort for physicality? Does he throw Chet on for size? I think that I'm really interested because, again, I think at times Julius Randle didn't seem like he fit on this team to me, but over the past 2 series, he's looked whatever. He's looked like a great piece. The Rudy Gobert question, I'm not honestly so terrified of Rudy. I think our 2 bigs can match up well as our perimeter guys I think can match up well. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dante DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels. We got guys of our own as well. I think we both have very, very solid wing role players. I'm going to say this and it's going to hurt. I'm not super scared of Rudy. Obviously, offensively, no one's terrified of Rudy's game. It's just the defensive presence. But I think having Chet and Ihart, 2 7-foot guys, obviously can help kind of combat that. But I go OKC in 7 just because, obviously, I got to believe in my team. But I honestly think that I like our star player better. I like our wings better. I like our secondary scoring better. The only thing is just paint defense, I think. What?
Secondary score.
Julius Randle. I literally forgot he was on the team.
That's not it.
I literally forgot Julius Randle was on the team. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I've forgotten this whole year and the last 2 series I've watched, I wouldn't say minimal, but I feel like I've almost like haven't turned on Minnesota Timberwolves basketball this playoffs as much as any other team. And they're sitting in the Western Conference.
They've had 2 easy series.
Still, I feel like it's so easy to turn on. But yeah, I mean, I'm very much like I think it'll be a dogfight. I underestimated Denver, and I won't do the same with Minnesota. But I'm not as scared of Anthony Edwards as I am of Julius Randle. I honestly think Julius Randle this series could be a problem.
What?
I will say
it's just situationally, Jaden. Situationally, like Anthony Edwards, a better basketball player. I think we have bodies to go try and combat that. Julius Randle, I don't know what we'll throw at him.
I agree with that. That's what I'm scared about this series.
I would probably put Chet on him and then have Isaiah
But,
Hartenstein wait.
Like Dort will get put on him throughout the series. Dort will have minutes on Julius Randle. Like I think that'll definitely happen for the physicality aspect.
It probably will.
I don't know if you put Caruso on him, but I think to help kind of stop him getting to his spots and do his little post fades and stuff, you got to put a taller guy on him. But like, I don't know.
They got the bodies. They got the bodies put on him. I mean, you telling me like, well, no, I think that Caruso. I mean, like, Julius Randle's a better face-up player than Nikola Jokic. That's the problem. You can front a post player. You can't front a face-up player. And that's why Caruso was able to do such a good job on Jokic. I want to add, though, that the Timberwolves played the Thunder extremely well in the regular season. They made it tough for them.
We split 2-2. We split 2-2.
Y'all split 2-2, but it was tough games literally every single game.
I'm just saying, I thought we split 2-2. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I thought we split.
It was tough games every single game. I think these are pretty evenly matched teams, and I think they can dominate the offensive glass. They can make life tough for Shea, J-Dub, and Chet. They can make life tough for this offense. It's going to be a very, very defensively slanted series, in my opinion. It's going to be some low-scoring games, some murky games. I don't think we see blowouts in this series, to be honest. I can see this shit going either way. I'm not going to be honest. I'll be honest. My work, man, listen. Hey, Thunder did enough for me this year. Y'all got me $100. I really don't care. Shea, have another good series, and we good. Chet, let's step up. Kaysen, solidify your spot in the starting lineup next year. But outside of that, I really don't care what happens. I would love for Shea to win a ring. That's my boy. I'm not gonna lie, he might be my second favorite player in the league.
Yeah, you're weird.
Hey, but yeah.
Who's your first favorite?
LeBron. What do you mean?
But I thought you were a Luka guy.
I am. But Luka's probably at 3 right now. I'm not gonna lie. Shea Lap.
He let a regular season just change up his whole idea. Like, crazy.
Hey, I'm growing, bro. I'm growing. I'm in the midst of growing right now. The ideology is changing. The philosophy is changing.
That wasn't growth. Like you shrunk.
The ideology is changing. The basketball IQ and the way I evaluate the game of basketball is just improving day by day. So, hey, the Twitter followers going up. We lit. So, but yeah, no. I got OKC in 7, but it's gonna be tough. Q, I already started a prediction on Twitter, but go ahead.
Yeah, Wolves in 7, man. Like you already said,
I'm right there with you, man.
It's a good matchup. Timberwolves played them tough. Well, most of the West teams played OKC tough all year this year, so it's not really, they really beat up on the bad teams. They did what they supposed to do, but the real teams usually give them a struggle. And unlike what?
Bro, that's true for everybody. That's true for everybody, though. Wow. Like, I hate you were using that.
Jokic and some dude with ramen noodle head take them to 7, brother. Like, tough games. That's all I'm saying. It's tough games. And Julius Randle, like I've said many times before, was incorrectly labeled as a playoff dropper. Situations weren't always, conducive to proper rating of him. He's shown you this year. If he could kill Draymond, I'm pretty sure he's gonna kill what's his name? Chet Holmgren bum.
It's levels, bro. It's levels to this shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. and it just got so much easier for Julius Randle. Randle about to average 28, 8 and 7.
No.
60%
no.
shooting.
I think Randle has a decent chance of struggling in the series. I think he does.
No.
Bro, it's not. I think sometimes we think about the matchup where it's like, okay, he's gonna be getting guarded by Chet, but we thought that with Jokic too. We thought Jokic was gonna go crazy in this year.
And he gonna meet Ihart at the rim, and he gonna bang on him.
They're gonna be sitting in the gaps too, though.
And if
you gonna have,
are you guys bet on it? You guys should bet on it.
Oh, we can bet. You wanna bet?
Bet on points per game.
Rudy gonna
no. Let's bet on the series, Q.
12.
Q, let's bet on the series, Q.
How much you want to bet?
You can do 20. I ain't that confident. 20?
Well, now we can do 50. What?
All right, we can do 50. Let's do 50. Let's do 50.
We got some money on.
Let's do 50. Let's do 50. I got OKC in 7. 50?
And he's got Minnesota in 7. So anything shorter than that, you still you win, correct?
No. Are we doing outright winner? Like whoever.
You guys both have a team. You guys both have a team in 7.
No. Outright winner. Whoever wins the series.
Yeah, I got Wolves. Regardless,
Yeah.
the Wolves crack them at 5. I don't care. I still get my money.
That's what I'm saying.
All right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Remember the last year? Y'all tried to clown me. Y'all thought I was bullshitting. I told y'all Dallas at 5. Trolling. Y'all gonna learn y'all lesson. Eventually, y'all gonna realize that I'll be right. So, Wolves in 6. I'm gonna take it down again. Wolves in 6.
Jaden, what are you doing? What's your
I got Wolves in 7.
Q, weren't you the one last time talking about how tough it is to close it out on the road? Never mind. They're at home. My fault. They're at home. That's why you switched to 7.
They win a game 7. They win a game 7 in OKC.
No, that's why he switched to 6. He switched to 6.
Oh, okay, that's my move.
I don't care. The Wolves could go to somebody's crib and beat them in game 7. I've seen them do it before.
The aura different. The aura and energy is just different. It's just different in OKC. Everybody wear the shirts. You know, it should get crazy.
Everybody wear the free shirts that they put out on the joints like 6 hours before the game. Of course, it's a free shirt. I don't care. Like, come on, dog. What are we doing?
It's about morale and team. You know, 2 40-point W's at home. It get dark. It get dark in OKC.
Yeah.
Anyway,
come out against the Grizzlies, bro. Like, that don't count, bro.
Denver. The Timberwolves run up and down the
court.
Do you think the Thunder can turn the Wolves over?
Yeah.
They just turned the third best half-court offense in the league over with Nikola Jokic, one of the best processors in NBA history, and they're going from that. They're going from that to Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle.
PJ was a negative, or Aaron Gordon was hurt. If he wasn't hurt, they win this game. Like,
no, that's true.
Yeah.
Before we move on, though, I wanted to do this earlier. Let's do a Alex Caruso would you rather. Only defense. We're talking about only defense. First name up, Drew Holiday.
Caruso.
Currently?
We're doing current. No, all time.
All time?
Yeah,
yes,
I'm taking Drew.
Let me clarify. At the peak, we talking about right now.
You're saying
at peak, Drew Holiday.
The way players talk about Drew Holiday, I'm going Drew.
Bro, players talk about Ace Bailey saying like crazy. Like I don't really mean
He's the greatest player ever. I'm cool with the players.
Players like they say some random shit like Sean Livingston was a dog. Like I don't give a fuck.
Well, Jay Lamb just went on. Kevin Martin could have averaged 25 and been an All-Star, but he ain't want to score that much. Shut up, bro. Like,
So you taking Drew? You taking Drew, Jaden?
No, I'm taking Caruso, bro.
Okay, good move. I'm taking Caruso, man. I think he's just more versatile than Drew Holiday. Caruso is just more versatile. I think he's a better help defender. I think Drew's better at the point of attack, but Caruso is more switchable. He can guard more positions, I think, better. And he creates probably more events on defense. I'm not gonna lie. He just guarded Jokic. It's really that's it. He just guarded Jokic.
That's what I was about to say. Like we saw Jimmy Butler like really make Drew look crazy.
Yeah, he gave him the business. BTA. He gave him nasty.
Every time it comes to slighting Drew Holiday, everybody brings up that one series where Jimmy Butler went crazy. We never seen Jimmy Butler do that ever again. We just gonna call that an outlier.
I just think it's versatility. But I was thinking about like size. I think Drew is low key bigger.
I think so as well.
No, he is not.
He's also very versatile himself.
He's a bigger frame, but I think Caruso just does better in guarding bigger players.
He's so skinnier.
All right. Next name up, Tony Allen.
Tony. Or did you say Tony?
Are you going with Caruso, Latif?
I didn't say y'all. Yeah, I'm not sure what your answer.
This whole thing.
Yeah, I'll go with Tony.
I would say TA.
I'll go Tony Allen.
I'm going Caruso, man. I mean, I just think he's been like he doesn't have the accolades. He doesn't have like the all defenses and all that type of stuff. His career's still going on. I think Tony Allen's defense aged really well. Like he was a really, really good defender even late into his career or whatever. He obviously gave KD fits or whatever. And Kobe's. So
Kobe's the best defender. Kobe's the best defenders ever played.
I just think that Caruso is more versatile. And I'm getting that off because he just guarded Jokic. I'm sorry. I'm getting that off because he just guarded Jokic. It's close though. It's close. Tony Allen is one of the best perimeter defenders ever.
This reaction to culture, man. We gotta stop.
I was gonna put Gary Payton on here, but I didn't watch him play basketball like that, so I can't even be coming here like I did.
Caruso anyway.
Probably, I ain't gonna lie.
Crazy.
Next name up is Marcus Smart. It should be easy.
It's Caruso.
Yeah, it's Caruso. Marcus Smart, defensive player of the year, was fraudulent. I think he's nowhere. Well, I don't want to say nowhere near, but it's a gap. Caruso with a gap. Next name up. He was one of he got Drew Holiday talk. Like people were saying, like, oh, he's the best perimeter defender they ever faced.
Wait, don't say it. Is it gonna be Avery Bradley?
It is. Avery Bradley is the next name up.
I feel like Avery Bradley was more like a ball hog, though. Like
it's Caruso.
I'll go with Alex Caruso as well.
No, it's Alex Caruso. Caruso, a way more impactful defender, more versatile. You go look at Avery Bradley's numbers. He really wasn't even. I don't want to get all into a nerdy session here, but it was worse than advertised, basically. Last name is his teammate, Lou Dort.
That's Caruso.
Caruso. I think Dort's biggest thing is his physicality, and Jay? I think Caruso just showed.
You just heard me say Caruso.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Yeah, it's Alex Caruso. I think Caruso is probably like the fourth best defender on his team.
It's funny if you just
said Caruso, you mean Lou Dort?
Lou Dort is the fourth best defender on his team. I think.
Yeah.
If you heard me say that he's better than Drew Holiday, what would make you think that I would just like?
Dort is really good too.
He's not. You think Dort is better than Drew Holiday?
No.
Okay then.
Dort's screen navigation is not good enough. But I would say Dort is the fourth best defender on the team. I think.
Wait. You said what about Dort and screens?
His screen navigation is not good enough,
bro. He don't even feel screens, bro.
Yes, he's developed the ability to just like go through them, but he still gets stuck on screens a lot. I don't really think he did that great of a job on Jamal Murray throughout the series, but you know, at some points he did, sometimes he didn't. But yeah, and he also is nowhere near the help defender that Caruso is. So, anyways, yeah, Dort is the fourth best defender on the team. Kaysen better, I'm not gonna lie, right now today. Like Kaysen
as well. Chet and J-Dub up there, or who?
Oh, he might be the fifth because Dort might be. J-Dub better than him too. To be honest,
yeah. It should be.
I don't know if you were counting post guys.
I be forgetting J-Dub, bro. All right, last series, Knicks versus Pacers. No one thought we were going to be here. A rematch of last year's playoffs, a rivalry renewed from the 90s. It's going to be an electric series, in my opinion. What y'all think? Who won in this series? I'll start with Q.
I got Knicks in 6. Like a really tough 6. Like I said in the last episode, it's a clash of two different styles of how they want to, win the game. Indiana want to be fast. They want to, get shots up, play in space, things like that. Always try to be in semi-transition. New York, they really just want to grind you down. There's a lot of ISO scoring from everybody. A lot of Jalen Brunson, getting into the paint, doing things like that. I think he probably still get that off. Tyrese Halliburton hasn't been no real slouch defensively like this postseason. Like he's trying. Like obviously you're not the greatest, so still like things are still gonna happen. But he's been playing better. But I don't think that's enough to stop Jalen Brunson at the point of attack. It's gonna be close. I expect Indy probably at least win their 2 games at home. Well, probably New York try to close it out. Yeah, they could close it out in Indy. I wouldn't expect them to take it to 7, but if it does go 7, I have New York obviously winning at the Garden, but I don't think it's going to take that long.
I have a series going 7.
Yeah, I agree with you. You said what?
I said I have it going 7 in the Knicks' favor.
Yeah, I agree with you. Max?
These are two teams I feel like I've underestimated significantly, both in every series they've been, probably besides New York and Detroit. I don't really know. I guess I think probably New York's gonna win, but I would love for Indiana to win. I would much rather have Indiana win this game, win this series. So I'll say biasly Indiana in 7. Indiana I've been wrong about all year, and I think I gotta finally maybe this is the time where I'm finally just I do get it right or I do get it wrong, but I'll go with Indiana in 7. I think the teams are different, but they're also similar at the same time. I think that the way they're both built, the only outlying piece is Pascal Siakam, but they have 3-and-D wings. They have good benches, whether New York wants to use them at all. But they just have like a bunch of guys who can shoot threes and defend. But both teams can get streaky. But again, you're led by Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton, who have both shown to be clutch playoff performers this year and just very, very good fourth quarter players. So I'll be super, super intrigued this whole series. I hope it goes 7. I hope it's a dogfight the whole way through. I hope Indiana and New York are both packed and loud, but I think probably New York wins. I'll bias say Indiana, but I think it'll go 7 either way.
You said bias because you're from.
I want Indiana to win. I'd much rather have Indiana win.
Is it because you're from Indiana?
I used to love the Pacers growing up. I when I was a little kid, I always wanted a Pacers Thunder finals matchup, and it never happened.
How did you become a Thunder fan, bro? Like
Katie and Russ.
I also was a Thunder fan too.
I liked Indiana because of Paul George.
We didn't ask you. First of all, we didn't ask you. We don't.
Okay, so the other two on the left are just you know what they're doing right now. Max, is that the first time I said that or no? Or,
you like
you've been every fan in the book. Like you used to have Russell Westbrook on your home screen game. Like
I did. I was a big Russ guy, but I had to. Hey, as soon as I started getting smart at basketball, I realized how bad of a player he is.
Jaden. I never liked the Bulls growing up, so I just followed players. So I followed KD and Paul George. Those are the two guys that were my favorite two players growing up. And so from there, I just liked the Thunder and the Pacers. So from there, I never liked the Bulls, so there was no team to follow there. Indiana was semi-close. I didn't like LeBron when I was like a little kid, so I rooted for Paul George, and he couldn't do anything. So then I eventually just hopped on the LeBron bandwagon and kept it going.
I was a KD guy and a Russ guy. Then KD
don't care.
KD he did the weakest movement in NBA history. So I had to like I couldn't associate myself with that. But if he come back OKC and win a championship, I will, forgive him or whatever.
Who are you? He doesn't know you are.
Anyway, so I'm gonna take the Knicks in 7. I think it's gonna be a really high scoring series. Both of these offenses are potent. I'm gonna go with the Knicks because down the stretch of games, I just feel like I trust Jalen Brunson and the rest of the team to just out execute the.
I don't know. Indiana is like
these closeout games.
Yeah, Indiana's been so like they've looked so sharp and efficient.
The Pacers have been really good in the clutch. I just feel like this is service level analysis, but if I need a bucket, I just trust Jalen Brunson the most out of all these players on these teams. But to get into it a little bit deeper, I just feel like you can put Mikal Bridges on Tyrese Halliburton. You can put OG Anunoby on Pascal Siakam. You can probably put hide Jalen Brunson on like Aaron Nesmith, even though I think he can potentially take advantage of the mismatch. And then you'll put
Nesmith
who you gonna put him on? Nemhard?
Definitely take advantage of.
You can't put him on Nemhard. You're not putting him on Nemhard.
Yeah, you're not putting him on Nemhard.
Yeah, you can't. See, that's what I'm saying. Both these teams are going to try to hunt each other's worst matchup. The Knicks are going to attack Tyrese Halliburton in actions. The Pacers are going to try to attack Cat and Jalen Brunson in actions.
The Pacers have to attack the paint. The Pacers have to attack the paint.
It's going to be a game of cat and mouse in that way, but I think Mikal Bridges can match up nicely against Tyrese Halliburton. I think OG Anunoby can match up well against Pascal Siakam. I think the Pacers, their advantage is going to be their bench. They have a much deeper team, and so that can lead to success. The series is going to be a toss-up, but I got the Knicks in 7. But it's going to be a toss-up. Jalen Brunson is the best player in the series. And I think the teams overall are maybe close enough where I can lean on that. But the Pacers do have more depth. So we'll see. It's going to be one of those series where you don't really know who's going to come out on top. That's why it's going 7. I think the Pacers are better coached too. I don't know. I'm kind of talking myself into the Pacers. I'm not going to lie.
I think we got 3 of the best home atmospheres though this playoff so far. Obviously MSG, but Indiana and OKC, for being small market teams, have both been electric. What are the teams that had great home crowds? Like I guess the playoffs, everywhere's loud, but Indiana and OKC have definitely shown up. MSG is MSG. I don't know Minnesota's, I guess.
Pacers have the better coach. They have the more depth. That kind of made me want to pick the Pacers. I don't know.
You like Tibbs? You like Tibbs?
Coach is not like
that's not Rick Carlisle.
A big
Carlisle's better coach.
Yeah.
You said what?
I said that's not a big ass guy. You just if you're gonna lean Rick Carlisle, you're probably just leaning because he's offensive oriented guy. But the coaching aspect it's not as like big.
Pacers defense in the playoffs are really good.
So what you sticking with? What are you sticking with?
I'm flipping it. I'm gonna go Pacers in 7. I think they are the deeper team, the more well-coached team, and I think they're gonna be able to attack Cat. They're gonna be able to attack Brunson. Tyrese Haliburton is gonna have to scale up as a scorer in this series. Not really confident in that, but I think this team is a well-oiled offensive machine, and they've been playing pretty well defensively in this playoffs. I'm gonna go with the Pacers in 7 games, but it's gonna be tough for them.
Do you think Haliburton is better than Fox?
Yes, easily. What are you talking about right now?
Okay.
Haliburton better than Zion.
Yeah, you're funny.
Me and Kim did it. I said Haliburton is better than Zion.
Isn't he not?
No.
Please, come on, bro. Come on, brother.
You say he's not?
No, he's not better than.
Come on, bro.
What is the nastiest conversation you could see from one of these teams winning the championship?
Nothing. I think any of these teams winning the championship would probably be good for the sport, except for maybe.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like if Tyrese wins and gets put in the top 5 conversations and gets put in the top 3 conversations. I'm saying if he wins the championship, there are going to be nasty narratives that go around.
No, I don't think nobody's gonna do that for nobody gonna reach for Tyrese Haliburton like that.
There will be fans saying he's top 7 at least, but maybe top 5.
Nobody.
No.
They're not gonna win. But I'm saying there will be people trying to push that narrative.
He's top 10. They'll be like, yeah, he's top 10. That's cool. Nobody's gonna. He's top 7.
People overreact to this kind of stuff for sure. Everyone knows that. But I definitely think like Shea
overreacting would be saying he's a top 10 player.
I think Shea can get the bump. I think Ant gets a bump. I think Brunson and Haliburton all obviously get bumps. I think
Shea bump. There's no bump that's gonna like for Shea. Like he's pretty much everybody probably already thinks he's the second best player. He's probably gonna stay there.
We've seen this in the past. What happens when people make it to the finals or win the finals? There are crazy things that go around.
Not that crazy. Nobody said Jason Tatum was the best player in the world after last finals. Like that ain't happen.
There were TikToks about it. There were TikToks.
No, nobody did that, bro. Matter of fact, like him winning the championship was worse for him.
Wait, so basically, either one of Ant, Jalen Brunson, Shea, or Tyrese Haliburton will be getting their first championship this year.
Probably.
Who do y'all want? Who do y'all think? Well, what should be the question? Who do y'all want to win it the most? Or
I think if Ant gets it, that's when like you're gonna start seeing like
who has the most to gain from a championship win? You think
Anthony Edwards? Anthony Edwards.
No.
Why Anthony Edwards? Well, everybody explain the answer. So, Jaden, why Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards, because it's like it's like the anointed face thing, the narrative about him getting past. Obviously, Steph was hurt, but him dethroning Steph, not dethroning, but eliminating Steph, LeBron, Luka, like getting through. I can't say Luka, but getting through like the GOATs. Like I just think it fits the narrative. Like he has the most to gain, and then they're comparing him to Jordan and all this other stuff. Like it's Ant, bro.
You see, that's the thing. he's already thought of as that guy. Him winning would only help these people have real validity to what they were saying. Like it's pretty much gonna be like, see, I told you so. But dude like Brunson, second round pick, many years in college, backup, 6-man, had to break out against the Jazz, got a contract. People, excuse my language, shitting on the contract. For the Knicks, multiple second round appearances, first ECF in 25 years. If he wins the finals, it's been like 50, almost 60 years since they won the finals. He will be literally immortalized in like New York sports, NBA sports, basketball history. Like he'd be like, dude, that's one of the ultimate winners like in NBA history. Like he went from bench player to basically Hall of Famer in a matter of like 4 seasons. Like from that Jazz series to now, it's been like one of the best stretches that like any player had, especially doing in New York, the mecca of basketball. He's pretty much like would get the biggest jump from anybody, especially on an all-time scale. Like he pretty much punches his ticket into the Hall of Fame.
That's a very, 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 very good argument, Q. I ain't gonna lie. Max, what are you thinking?
I agree. I think it all depends on how they play. Like Tyrese Halliburton is a very team-oriented player. If he goes off for the next 2 rounds and plays out of his mind, I think obviously he has going from the most overrated player in the league to dominating the next 2 series and being a Finals MVP is huge. I kind of agree. I think Brunson being where he started and winning a championship for basketball, for the basketball mecca, what is he already stamped as like the second best Knick of all time? Maybe like doing that after all this time. I think like, but like, is it a conversation? What do you got? Willis Reed and Patrick Ewing. I'm putting like Ewing 1, and I think Brunson's in debate for 2.
Brunson over that.
Brunson was the greatest Knick ever.
Who?
It's Walt Frazier, Willis Reed, Dennis Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, see, like, so I guess even for me, then I'm thinking I put him up there. But like, I think that to do that for New York, who has been deprived of a championship for so long, who's been the butt of the NBA for so long, I get his team situation might be better than other teams, but like again, they don't play a deep bench. They have a good starting 5, but they don't play a deep bench, and especially if he plays how he did in the fourth quarter, being known now as one of the most clutch players in the NBA currently, especially come playoff time, and you lead New York to a championship by beating Boston, by beating whoever else, the rivals of Indiana. Like this run could go down as one of the best in NBA history because of how big it is to the city of New York.
Yeah, it's really hard to argue against Q argument. I'm not going to answer the question. I'm just going to leave it open-ended. I want to ask you something else. If Shea wins a championship for the Thunder, is he the franchise GOAT?
If he wins, yeah.
Greatest all time or best person to put on the jersey? He's the greatest of all time. If he wins, he's not the best player to put on the jersey.
Of all time,
yeah, not the best player.
I still think Kevin Durant is still the best player to ever put on in Oklahoma City's Thunder jersey. But yes, he would be the GOAT because currently the only guy who brought us one technically is Dennis Johnson, but that's not even really OKC history. So yeah, I think it's
about to not be soon because Seattle about to get their franchise back. So y'all pretty much have your own.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the same things in hockey, like where a team moved out and moved somewhere else, and then someone else came into the place that they already moved out of. Right? That makes sense. But like so like the team in Winnipeg moved, right? Yeah. Moved somewhere else, had a team, everything. They put another team in Winnipeg. Their championship stayed with the team they moved to. So again, if Seattle wins, it'll stay in OKC's trophy case because it's our franchise. That's like it's weird, but it's like it'll stay in our trophy case. But like again, especially with it being when you look 20, 30 years down the line, like Seattle won. Why is it in OKC's history of being a championship? It's because the franchise moved with us, even though they put one back up there because ownership, players, whatever is not the same.
I wonder what it
regardless is yes though, because he'd have the same accolade resume as Russ and KD. Those are MVPs, those are scoring champions. He's gonna have a long runway to get like the All NBAs and the All Stars, but he'd have the one thing that they didn't get, which is the ring, possibly a Finals MVP. So he's already he also becomes immortalized in a franchise. He'd be the best player, and probably could stack more on top of that, like as the time goes on.
Latif, what were you saying?
Oh no, never mind. I'm surprised that you just said. I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were gonna say KD. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm not.
Because his longevity with the franchise or whatever. He stayed there from 2007 to 2016.
I believe that over the whole Russ narrative that he just stayed there. Like, I'm not about to reward Russ for being the one that people left. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like he's the best player. He's had all the stats or whatever.
Russ is a franchise GOAT. I forgot. Russ is a franchise GOAT.
Sure, whatever. That's the people who up in arms because my boy made a smart decision. He left a bad basketball player. Ooh. Damn, how could you?
That's going to do it for episode, I guess, 146 or our NBA conference final predictions, whatever. Make sure you guys tap in with the video, like the video, comment, follow us on our social media platforms at the top of the screen. If you're watching this, it's going to drop before our mock draft. You made it this far, go watch that. You're going to be talking NBA draft pretty soon. So, love y'all. We out.